Hello Year 5 and welcome back to our fourth lesson, which is our final planning lesson, and we're going to be planning our metaphors. And we all know what a metaphor is because we looked at the start of the week, but now we're going to be planning our own. So let's get into it.
Okay, so this is the starter task for this lesson. What I would like you to do is I'd like you to choose the correct verb ending for these verbs. Now they're either going to be an ing ending or an ed ending. Now just a quick reminder that when you are adding these verb endings, you might be doubling up the consonant or removing the vowel E at the end of the verbs. Now it's your turn now. Pause the video here and complete these sentences for me. Okay, welcome back. Hope you've had some time to finish these sentences off for me and place in the correct verb endings. And now it's time to check through. So the first one was I am running. I've doubled up the consonant, the N, and I've added the ing to the end. The second one, I danced in a performance. I've added the ed ending. The third one, the stars are twinkling. I've taken off the vowel E and added my ing, so I've dropped the E at ing. The fourth one, Jupiter is frantically spinning. Again, like I did for running, I've doubled up the consonant. The fifth one, the rocket has orbited the Earth. I've added the ed onto that. The sixth one, Bob Lucas is floating. And the seventh one, I emailed the doctors to check my appointment. Hopefully you've been able to check through your answers to check if you've got them all correct, and hopefully you have as well, so well done if you did. Okay, let's get into today's lesson. So we are going to be using figurative language to describe space. It's going to be the same objective that we've done for the last 3 days. And today we're going to be focusing specifically on metaphors. So let's recap. What are metaphors? So now it's my turn. So a metaphor is a figure of speech in which a word or phrase is applied to an object or action to which it is not literal. You are saying one thing is the other. I am a busy bee. The sun is a light bulb. The comparisons aren't literal. So let's think about how we could use these circular objects to create metaphors about our planets now. Pause the video here and have a think about that question for me. Okay, hope you've had some time to think about that question. And let's have a look at some examples I've written about the 4 planets. So here are some examples. So Venus is a fragile marble rolling through space. I've got my ing verb ending there as well. The second one, Mars is an eye scanning for enemies. Now, I could have just used Mars is an eye. That is a metaphor in itself and that would work completely fine. However, I've included a verb, scanning, to make it more interesting. I'm thinking about what my noun, what my eye could do to enhance the metaphor even more. And that is something I would like you to do in your metaphors when you write them yourselves. So Jupiter is an exploding firework. I've added an adjective there to describe the firework. And Neptune is a compass guiding rockets back home. So here are some examples. Obviously you can use these or write these down if you feel like it is appropriate to your planet. So if you want to, you could pause the video here. If you don't need to, then let's move on. Let's have a think about what makes a good metaphor, and let's write some steps to success. So pause the video here and have a think about what we used for our simile steps to success yesterday and how it could be used for our metaphor one today as well. So for a metaphor, we need to say that the planets are something else. Not they're like or as something else, that they are something else, or the planet is something else. The comparisons, again, must be exciting and engaging for readers. And then these metaphors could be enhanced with the use of adjectives from your plan. Now, using the word bank that I've already got about the moon and the goddess Luna, I can create metaphors. So I'm now going to be picking out the correct nouns, adjectives and verbs to support me when writing these metaphors. So the moon is a compass guiding Earth to safety. So there I've used the noun compass to say that the moon is the compass, And then I've added some extra detail there about guiding the earth to safety, making my metaphor more interesting, more engaging. Then I've got in the night sky, I've got a fronted adverbial of place. The moon is a hidden mystical clock, twirling through time and space. So when you are creating these metaphors, yes, you can just say that the moon is something else, but I really want you to think about adding that extra detail, including those verbs to tell me what this could be doing. So like I did for the first one, the moon is a compass. What do compasses do? They guide people, so it could be guiding Earth to safety. So have a think about that when you're writing your metaphors, about how you could expand on it, make it more interesting. Okay, so now I want to think about what your god or goddess could be. Now, looking at these pictures, I'm going to think about what my god or goddess could be or could be doing. So if I look at the first picture, she looks like she's a worshipper. She's holding and protecting the moon. In the second picture, she's holding a bow and arrow. She is doing some archery. She's an archer. So I've got protector, worshipper, archer down. So then I've thought about things as well. So she's been watching the moon. She's looking after it. So she's a keeper. She's a watcher, a guardian, a guide, a storyteller, and a seeker of knowledge. Now, storyteller and seeker of knowledge are a bit more abstract to think about. But again, if you can think about those unusual and unique things that your god or goddess could be or could be doing, that will really help with your metaphors. So I could then use these words to create metaphors about the moon. Now I'm going to be specifically saying the moon is rather than saying lunar, because obviously I know that lunar is a protector. That's not a comparison, but I want to compare the moon to something that lunar could be doing. So the moon is a watcher guarding the earth. That would work. It is an abstract concept, which is not a literal comparison. Again, the moon is a storyteller, can't actually be a storyteller with all its wisdom and knowledge. Now think about these things that I've used for lunar. I want you now to think about your planet or god or goddess. What could they be doing in the pictures? So look at the goddess of love, Mars the god of war, look at Zeus the god of lightning, and the god of sea, Poseidon. Think about what they could be doing in the pictures. So pause the video here, write down some ideas. If you're not sure you're stuck, I have got some later on in the video, but I'd really love to see the types of things that you write down in your plan. So pause the video here, think about just what your god or goddess could be doing in the pictures. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you've had some time to think about what your god or goddess could be doing in the pictures. But again, if you're not sure, I've got some ideas for you. So, for example, if you've got the goddess of love, Venus, they could be a lover, a fortune teller, a follower, a keeper, a storyteller, a guider. You could use some of the things I've used for the goddess Luna if you are unsure or stuck. For Mars, the god of war, I've used a guard, a watcher, a conqueror, a warrior, a protector, and a traveller. Those are things that obviously any warrior would be doing. Okay, and then for Zeus, the god of lightning, now I know that he's the god of gods, so he's going to be a ruler, a king. He could be like a father figure. Also, he's someone who is able to manipulate the elements and create lightning, so he's a sorcerer. Again, a bit like Mars, he's a warrior and a creator. Now, Neptune, obviously, because Poseidon is the god of the sea, he's a captain. So think about things that like sailors could do. So again, a captain, a sailor, a hero, a guider, a traveller, and a manipulator. You could also say for Poseidon, he's also a sorcerer because he's able to control the sea. So write down the words that you've got for your planet or god. So you can pause the video here and write those down for me. Okay, so today's chili challenges again are the same as yesterday's, but obviously instead we're going to be creating metaphors about your planet. So Chili 1, I want you to create metaphors about your planet. Chili 2, I want you to include expanded noun phrases into your metaphors. And Chili 3, I want you to enhance your metaphors by using fronted adverbials as well. Remember to use a word map from yesterday for the fronted adverbials if you're not quite sure. And again, remember what I said about your metaphors. You can compare it to something else. So like I said, Mars is an eye, but think about what that I could be doing. So add a verb to make it even better, even more exciting. I can't wait to see what you send into the Year 5 email. Keep up the great work, Year 5, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Right, that is everything for this lesson. Hopefully you've written down loads of metaphors about your planet for this lesson that we can use tomorrow when we're writing it up. Right, I'll see you tomorrow for our final lesson on poetry, where we're going to be writing up our poems. See you tomorrow.